Everybody, Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Monday here on the show, and you know what that means. We got a lot to talk about here today. Filthy Tom Lawlor is joining us, and we'll be talking about Smackdown, as we always do with Filthy. But we also got Raw coming up here tonight. It is the Go-Home Raw for Money in the Bank, and also the Go-Home Raw, I guess, for Worlds Collide, although we know most of the matches on that show. This Saturday is Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. Of course, there's... God, I don't even know where to begin. We can talk about this. But we got Raw, NXT, 4 hours of AEW on Wednesday, Impact Thursday, Against All Odds Friday, Worlds Collide Saturday, Money in the Bank Saturday. It just never ends. And next Wednesday there is another 4-hour. God, you know, have I ever mentioned to you that, like, the moment this show goes on the air, every single day, I'm trying to run down, like, what's going on. And I have, like, everything on my phone. I've got my list of topics to talk about here. And it only happens right when this show starts. Bing, 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 bing. Why are you texting me? Why are you emailing? Why are you texting me? Why are you... I'm doing my best. But anyway, we're going to talk about all of this here today. We'll talk about departures from both WWE and AEW and where people might end up and plenty more. If you want to text us after this segment, leave me alone for now. 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. F4W Online Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. Man, a lot of cameos the last couple of days. They're $10. Get your personalized message from me right now at Bryan Alvarez X and Blue Sky. And that's the plan for today. So we're going to head to a break. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died. Yeah. All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie about this.
What is up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was going to say, the very first one was a
many
disaster.
problems. Many problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Bryan.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like, every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect our audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
That's just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive also. It's not my old habits die hard, brother. You know, I just get constantly distracted the moment this show starts, and it's like I can't turn off my phone because like I need to find out if something goes on. You know what I'm saying? But like, why does everyone text me right at noon? Now, how you doing, Tom? How's your body? You gone back in Friday? How is it?
I'm going back today.
Yeah, is it?
I don't feel worse, but I'm like,
Still
like
very
like
crooked.
Juice Robinson.
Yeah,
Further away
where's
from
old
coming back
Juice
than You
at?
think
Where's old
a lot
Juice?
of guys? Dalton Castle.
Yeah. You know, I gotta talk about Truth and Carlito. Because I don't want to fight with people. I'm trying not to fight with people anymore. But, man, oh man, people are like, you know, what a horrible company WWE is for cutting Truth and Carlito. It's like, listen, I get it. You don't like WWE. You don't like Hunter. Okay? But, dude, it's a business, and people are going to come and people are going to go. I realize everybody likes Truth. I like Truth. I don't want to see anybody get cut, okay? But it's going to happen, okay? And, like, even, you know what's funny about all of this? Well, of course their own wrestlers were sad. You don't think people were sad when... Name anybody who got cut. Unless you're universally hated, it doesn't matter who you are in what company around the world, when you get cut, there's going to be people sad. I like Truth a lot, okay? I think he's great. But the fact of the matter is, he had a huge contract that they paid him for years and years and years and years and years and years. And for most of that time, he didn't do much. And it's not like I'm saying he deserves to be fired, but my point is this. He's 53 years old, and for years, he made really, really, really big money. Unless he is an absolute idiot with his money, he's set for life. Like, think about all of the people in AEW and WWE and wherever that didn't have gigantic contracts, and they weren't making giant money, and they were released, and now they got to figure out what they're going to do with their lives. Hopefully they can get another job somewhere or this or that. I get that you like Truth and everything like that, but we're acting like he's some horrible victim here. Do you realize when Carlito got cut? Did you guys read Carlito's, the tweet that he made when Carlito got cut? He literally joked, "My lawyer contacted me that I may need to pay WWE money back." He literally was stating, I stole money the last couple of years. They paid me a ton of money, and I didn't do anything. Carlito joked about that. So, listen, Mariah May, gone from AEW. Abaddon, gone from AEW. The Bear Bronson, I think it was Bear, got released. You know, he's gone. You know, there have been others from AEW that have been gone. There are others from WWE that have been gone. Like, they're going to leave one place, and some of them are going to go other places. Some of them are going to have to figure out something to do with their lives, but it happens. Like, no one is a horrible person for letting somebody who had a gigantic contract for decades. It's just like, these aren't terrible people. It's just business. Why does this have to be some tribal thing? It happens. It sucks, but it happens. Right?
Yeah. This is business. We should know this by now. This is a TKO company. This isn't not a family-owned and run operation at this point. These are the same people behind this company that got rid of guys like Chuck Liddell, Matt Hughes having lifelong jobs, restructured the UFC, people that have been there for years and years and years. Long-time employees gone, gutted. They brought in new people. This is going to continue to happen. And like you said, out of all the people, R-Truth and Carlito, they probably made more per appearance, more per, seconds on screen than I would imagine most of the people there. And they were given opportunities. You know what I mean? It's not like Truth has just been sitting in the back waiting to get on TV. He's had a chance to go out there and do his shtick, and he's going to be better off for it in the long run. He could do appearances out the wazoo for the rest of his career. He could tag with Little Jimmy on the indies and make tons of money.
You and me versus Truth and Little Jimmy. I'll do it. I'll take on Little Jimmy. You can take on Truth. That's money right there. So anyway,
well,
all the best to everybody who was released this week. All the best to everybody. Truth could probably walk into TNA on Friday, or what's the show they got coming up this Friday? They got Against All Odds. I mean, he could walk in Friday.
Yeah, he could walk out and wrap Elijah to the ring.
Yeah, there's 1,000 things, And as someone noted here, like, if anything, we should be celebrating what a great career he had. It's true. 53 years old, dude. That guy had a great career. He was in WWE. He was in TNA. He was in WWE again. He worked everywhere, made tons and tons and tons of money, had a good time.
Brought out the best in The Miz.
He literally just headlined a Saturday night's main event. He'll probably be signed to a Legends deal like tomorrow afternoon. I mean, I don't know. This one's weird to me. I don't want to see him go, but we're acting like, oh my God, how's he gonna afford to put food on the table? What a terrible thing they did, letting R-Truth go. I wish he was still employed. I wish they were all still employed. But that's just not how it works. Should we talk about something else now?
I've been let go for...
How many times have you been
less.
let go? How many times have you been let go?
I don't know.
At least you're going to get a little bit of money out of it now, right?
Not as much as R-Truth.
That's true. But you're going to get a little bit of money based on your UFC time. Actually, you might be getting a lot more money because there are a lot of people that aren't taking advantage of that. Right?
Yeah, they might as well hire me to come on and fight on one of the shows. They got people dropping out last second, right before main events. I mean, what's going on? There's another big show this weekend, Brian. You didn't even mention one of the big UFC pay-per-views, headlined by maybe the biggest draw they have right now, Sugar Sean O'Malley, in the main event. So there's another one you can add to your list on Saturday night, going head-to-head with Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got a lot coming up this weekend. And I should mention that Carlito also gone. We talked about that. Mariah May is gone.
Hold on. Carlito also won a title this weekend.
Yeah, he won.
So it's not like he's getting
he actually
buried.
works significantly more outside of WWE than he does inside WWE, where he was being paid handsomely to play video games in backstage segments with the Judgment Day. I mean, that was a life. But yes, Carlito and Truth are gone. Mariah May, Bear Bronson, and Abaddon all gone from AEW this week. And Mariah May, I don't know when she will be available for WWE, but it will be, I'm sure, at some point this summer. Whether it's the Evolution 2 pay-per-view or if they bring her back at SummerSlam or they bring her in at SummerSlam. I'm not sure exactly when, but she is most certainly coming to WWE now that she is finished up with AEW.
Could we be looking at a Mariah June?
We've got Raw tonight. CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano in a men's Money in the Bank qualifier. And we've got Stephanie, Liv Morgan, and Ivy Nile in a women's qualifier. And yesterday on the show, Dave said, well, there's no chance Ivy's winning. But the fact of the matter is, Stephanie is already working on Saturday at the Worlds Collide show. And Liv is one half of the tag team champions and is doing an angle with Roxanne. So I actually think that it might be Ivy that wins tonight. So we'll find out, but we'll go over the rest of the lineup and more after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big Vinny V show.
Is it?
Or reviewed Poet Armenia 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and
down
San
there.
Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm exhausted. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well,
Anyway.
can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
But he tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steve, chicken jockey.
Let's do it. So tonight's Raw, tomorrow's NXT, with Trick Williams and Mike Santana for the TNA title. We've got Miles Bourne, Charlie Dempsey in a Heritage Cup rules match where if Miles Bourne wins, he is released from his contract.
What are the Heritage Cup rules now, anyways?
It's
Isn't it just a
rounds.
normal match?
Well, no, technically they didn't call it a Heritage Cup rules match. They called it a rounds match. So it's the... Keep the mic close to you, dude. Quit putting it over by the air conditioner. It sounds like you're taking off. There you go. Andre Chase, Uriah Connors, and Cale Dixon versus Dark State. That's tomorrow. Bro, did you move the washing machine into that room?
no.
What is so loud over there?
I'll close this window now.
God.
It's 105 degrees, buddy, and it's cooking in this room.
Well, I mean, the mic is directional, dude, so the point is just don't point it at the air conditioner, and you can leave the window open.
Don't point at there.
You're sitting here going like this. What the hell's that noise?
I didn't hear any noise, actually. It's you.
Fighter Fest is Wednesday with Kenny Omega versus Mascara Dorada, Claudio, and Brody King. John Moxley versus Mark Briscoe with no title on the line. FTR versus Atlantis and Templario. Tony and Mina versus Sky Blue and Julia Hart with Mercedes on commentary. Rush Dralistico and Nabist Mortos in his new awesome mask versus Commander Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey. Tekla will have her in-ring debut, and the Hurt Syndicate will speak. And then we got Impact on Thursday, where we've got Moose versus Eric Young for the X Division title. Zaya Brookside versus Rosemary in a Monsters Ball match. Heather and M by Elegance versus Harley Hudson and Myra Grace, and Nick Nemeth, Ryan Nemeth, and Frankie Kazarian versus Mike Santana, Matt Hardy, and Leon Slater with Joe Hendry returning. That is the go-home show for Against All Odds, which is June 6th, which is headlined by the winner of Trick and Mike Santana on NXT. The winner of that match defends the TNA title against Elijah. Yeah. We might get Trick Williams versus The Drifter for the TNA title. Masha Slamovich versus Lei Ying Lee. The Nemeths against the Rascals for the tag titles. Steve Macklin and Mance Warner for the international title. Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian. Joe Hendry jerking the curtain now for this show. And I swear to God, in the ring, in a wrestling match. You ready for this?
Probably not.
Santino Marella versus Robert Stone. Yeah. The winner becomes the sole TNA Director of Authority. Yeah. AAA Worlds Collide on Saturday has got Vikingo versus Chad Gable. There's also a SmackDown. I don't even have a SmackDown lineup. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff on that show, that 3-hour atrocity. Elio Del Vikingo. It's too long, dude. It's too long.
Yes. I believe if I go look at my notes, I think that may be the last. No, I didn't even
It's
write.
not. God. Vikingo versus Chad Gable.
These are notes from 4 years ago.
Ethan Page versus Javon Ray Phoenix and Laredo. I've been told he is no longer a kid. Not making this up. He is now just Laredo.
The place?
Yeah.
Wow.
Stephanie
if they don't win, something's wrong.
And Lola versus Chic Tormenta and Dalis and Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto versus Psycho Clown, Elijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., and Pagano. Why is he not on Hell? Why is he Angel? That's not how you pronounce it.
Did you ever in your life think we were going to get
Pagano and Psycho Clown? Yes.
Psycho Clown, maybe that one. If we get Dave the Clown and Murder Clown on a WWE show, my head is going to freaking explode.
I hope we do.
I hope so too. I'd love to see my head explode right on air. That'd be fantastic.
Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, Penta, Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Andrade, and one more in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Women's got Rhea, Alexa, Naomi, Julia, Roxanne, and another. We got John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody and Jey Uso, and Lyra versus Becky for the Intercontinental title. That is a big week of shows, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Because after that, Brian, you're still going to have to sit there and get through Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison.
No.
And then
I'm not
Marab
watching that show.
Davalishvili versus Sean O'Malley.
What happened
Sugar
this
Sean.
weekend?
What do you mean?
The UFC main event.
Oh, geez. Well, I was watching the main event. They play the video package for the main event, which a lot of people were looking forward to this. One of the most anticipated fights in the history of the UFC Apex. Aaron Blanchfield against Macy Barber. And they play the video package. They come back, and Brendan Fitzgerald says, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time this has ever happened. Macy Barber was set to make the walk. She cannot. Will this fight happen? I don't know. Find out when we come back. And I was like, what? This is the cliffhanger? They're doing a pro wrestling angle. Will this fight even happen? And then they came back, They announced that the fight was not going to go down. Apparently, there was a medical issue, so they interviewed
It was a seizure.
Well, yeah, so I was going to get to that.
Well, I got to ask a question for you, Tom, to interrupt you here, okay?
Yeah.
Not to make light of the situation or whatever, but, like, she had a seizure, and they were like, let's give it a few minutes, see if she's all right. I'm like, what? How do they not know immediately, okay, well, this is over, dude? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and then they interview Erin Blanchfield, and they're asking her what happened. She goes, yeah, Mick Maynard came in the back, said Macy Barber had a seizure, she can't fight, and then just continued to bury her.
Yeah, she did.
On the mic. Like, she's sloppy shop, she's got to get her life in order, I'm never going to fight her, blah, blah, all this stuff. And I'm like, you know, if somebody really had a seizure in this situation, those are kind of rough, harsh words. And really, the UFC broadcast and commentators were questioning Macy Barber repeatedly. We've never seen this happen, you know? Is it, you know, talking about, is it nerves and this and that? And then, you know, you come to find out it's the commission stepped in. I don't know more information than what we've been given, but having a seizure at any point, especially when you're about to walk out there for a fight, is something that needs to be addressed. I mean, this is not to be taken lightly. And more than that, they need to figure out and get to the bottom of this. You know, is this a weight cutting?
She did miss weight, which means she probably
missed weight by half a pound.
Well, the point is, I mean, she probably had to do a pretty serious weight cut, and she still didn't make it. So there's that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the UFC, they do have a big show this weekend, but in all seriousness, some of these Apex cards that they've been putting out there leave a lot to be desired. And even with the canceled main event, there were fights dropping out, people missing weight, and they need to get things in order for the health of the fighters.
All right. There was a New Japan Best of the Super Juniors finale this weekend, and the final match was Kosei Fujita and Yo. Both finished with 12 points, although Desperado and Mao also finished with 12 points, but Yo ended up going into the finals, and he and Fujita had an incredible match. And my honest to God, my only complaint about this match is the finish looked terrible. I mean,
he botched his
They
finish.
have this incredible match, and then like he goes for his finish, and it looks. And you know what's the worst part about it? I watched it like a few times. It looked terrible, okay? But I think Yo actually smashed his poor face on the canvas really hard. So it was one of those things that like it looks terrible, but it also hurt, which is the worst thing in pro wrestling. And it looks so bad that like they have so much heat. This place is going wild. They see this move, and the crowd just goes, "Oh!" And they just kind of like go quiet. And I thought he's got to pick him up and do it again. Nope, he covered him and pinned him. I was like, well, you know, can't win them all. But that was an incredible match. The heat was unbelievable. You know, Sho and Yo, when they were a tag team for a long time,
the Tempura Boys.
It was like, okay, you know, Sho's got a ton of charisma. Like, he's really going to be something. And Yo is like, he's a good tag team partner, but not really all, you know, particularly outlandish or anything. This guy has got so much charisma now. And honestly, the fans were, I mean, Fujita, I guess, has played the heel role, but they liked him too. But man, they were so into Yo. And like, he would get put in submissions, and they are screaming for him to escape the submission. He was so over. I mean, it was ridiculous. But he lost in the end. And Fujita is your best of the Super Juniors champion. But everyone should go out of their way to see this match. It was awesome.
Yeah, the youngest ever Super Juniors champion, 22 years old. Huge Fuj getting the big win. I thought this match was fantastic. I have a gripe with old Dave Meltzer talking about this match last night, Brian, because he said, you know, Ospreay and Hangman, they told a much better story in the ring, you know. And it's like, did you watch this match? Because what this match relied on was storytelling from the past. One-man chaos, Yo using all of the signature moves of the former stable Chaos, which is now gone. He is also one of the men that defeated Fujita to win the IWGP Junior Tag Belts from him recently. And Fujita used the Zack Driver.
Yes, he
a
did.
move from his
well, hold on.
mentor
Hold
to
that
help
thought.
get
We'll
the
talk.
win.
We'll talk more about this after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well, that was just
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. Looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet in El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It was never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what was going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Looks my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
They're like,
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. All right, you were saying?
Yeah, let's get to it. As I was saying, this Yo versus Fujita match I thought was a great piece of storytelling. The limb work that they used throughout led to some of the most dramatic moments of the match as Fujita is trying to lock on his big match-ending submission. He can't even lock his hands and hold his grip because the arm is compromised. His shoulders all taped up. And like you said, the crowd was going crazy. And Brian, you mentioned that finish, the throw ride, not looking so great. But look at the match. Like I just said, Fujita couldn't even lock on the submission 10 minutes before that. How do you think he's going to pull off such a move like the thrill ride, going from a torture rack with a bad shoulder into the DDT on that same side? I think the botch was just part of the selling and added to the overall story.
Okay, Sabu. I mean, dude, here's the thing. You might be right, but, like, you should have told the fans because they were like, oh, that looked like. Anyway, it was a great match. Fantastic match. Both guys were incredible. So check it out. Vikingo beat Alberto to win the mega title. This was the match where they thought, if we don't advertise it in Mexico, those Mexicans won't know about it. But, of course, they did. So they'd done an angle on television where Alberto had attacked King Vikingo, the father of Vikingo. And so the father returned on this show and waffled Alberto with a guitar shot and pinned him. So Vikingo's the champion. And Alberto, he showed up and he did the job and he was a professional. So, I'm sure in his mind, he'd like to stay employed. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens with Alberto. But they did get that title off him quick.
I mean, what's his other option at this point? I would think it's AAA or it's going to go back to Combates America.
Golly, does that place still exist?
Yeah.
Really?
Running shows on YouTube out of Miami.
How about that? I'm a little behind on my MMA news. So this SmackDown show, both SmackDown and Collision, I can't say that either was a great show, but if we're gonna say which one was better, it would be Collision because it was shorter. If SmackDown would have been 2 hours, I would have liked it a lot more. But it just went on and on and on and on. And the funny thing is, it just keeps going on. And Vinny was like reviewing it last night. And he's just, and I felt like we were reviewing it for years. And then he finally gets to Fatu, Mello, and Andrade in a Money in the Bank qualifier. And I was like, thank God, we're almost done with this frickin' review. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh, wait, this isn't the main event. There's still a lot more to come. And I went, what? And I scrolled down, and I was like, oh, my God, there's still a lot more to come on this show. Yep. It's so long.
However, that was the main event.
It was the main event.
That was the last match.
There was much more to
hour.
come after that, yes.
I think they had the best stuff right at the beginning.
Well, do your quick review.
We're going through review? Well, I don't mean right at the beginning. I mean the opening in-ring segment. So after a video package showing Cody's return during John Cena and Logan Paul beating up Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event, our hometown hero, Bianca Belair in Knoxville, made her return from an injury. She sang Rocky Top with the crowd, welcomed them to SmackDown. Then Naomi came to the ring. She wanted Bianca's forgiveness, admitted she had gone to Bianca's parents' house. They showed Bianca embracing her parents before the promo she did in the crowd. Naomi said she went to her parents' house and they weren't there, so she just let herself in. So she admitted to home invasion live on air. Bianca threatened Naomi, and then Naomi threatened her. She said, wouldn't it be sad if something happens to you and you end up in a wheelchair just like your mom?
Wow.
Yeah. Naomi,
definitely
one of the best
nice.
Heels going now.
She is, but my
Jade
God.
Cargill, I love this. Naomi gets to come out every time and do a little promo, and then Jade Cargill just storms out and beats her up every single week. And you know what? I'm here for it. Cargill storms the ring, kicks the crap out of Naomi, stares Bianca down. Then she went to leave, but out came Nia Jax because there was a Money in the Bank qualifier between Nia Jax, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. Jade and Naomi were focused on each other, as they should be, and Nia was just crushing people the whole match. Samoan drops, second rope leg drops, cross body off the second onto both women, second rope Samoan drop on Naomi. They did a Tower of Doom spot at the end. Nia goes for the Annihilator on both of them after hitting the power bomb.
Oh, my God.
So she stacks him up. She gets on the ropes. She goes for the Annihilator. Naomi moves, and Nia doesn't even let her feet touch the mat.
No.
She kicks her feet out midair and crushes Jade like you've never seen anyone squish
you
before
like
in
this
your
because
life.
You didn't have to take it.
Good God. This was the best and worst Annihilator in history. There was one a few weeks ago. I think on Tiffany. Remember the one on Tiffany she did
Yeah.
where Tiffany was standing and she crushed her?
Yes.
That one looked like child's play compared to this. Jade is just rolling around in agony on the mat.
Oh, yeah.
They show her, but she's not selling. She's just crushed like a bug.
Oh, my God.
And Naomi crucified Nia. I mean, not verbally, although maybe she did, with a pinfall and got the win. Like, man, I don't want to sit through 3 hours of SmackDown again, but if I get to watch Nia crush someone like that every week, it's probably worth it in the long run.
Absolutely brutal.
Well, we had R-Truth upset with the Bloodline backstage, asked for a match with Solo Sikoa's husky son, JC Mateo. Alba Fire gets set to face Zelina Vega because Chelsea Green was meddling with Nick Aldis. Tiffany ran into Naomi and Alexa Bliss backstage. Both of them are looking to be the Women's Money in the Bank case holder. We then had R-Truth take on JC Mateo. JC ran through him, except for Truth hitting the 5-knuckle shuffle. He went for the AA. JC crushed him, hit the Tour of the Islands, got the win. Jimmy Uso ran out for the save. JC attacked him from behind, but was pulled away by Solo Sikoa, who's still trying to get Big Jim back in the fold. The Street Profits came to the ring. They said they'd face anyone with their titles on the line. So, all of the teams in the tag team division came out.
Golly. I
until the
hated this
lights-
segment.
The lights went dark.
I talked about this with Vinny yesterday. When you look at this whole thing, they talk about how this is the best tag team division in all of wrestling. And you've got Fraxium and Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns and DIY, and now the Wyatts have showed up. But to me, it's like, yeah, those are all great tag teams, but it's all just they intermingle with each other. It's like this team faces this team, bad finish. This team runs in to face that team next week, bad finish. And it's like by the time it's all, like none of these are like, it feels like you could have a great tag division with like great matches and great programs, but instead it's like there's one program involving all the teams. And I don't know, it's just like they're all great teams, but I'm just not feeling it because it doesn't feel like there's a direction or anything. It's just like, let's just throw them all out to just wrestle each other every week.
Yeah, we've been doing this for months now.
Yeah.
And it was one thing when
Remember we
seemed
thought it
like
was going to lead to that big match at Mania? It's
Yeah,
now
and nothing
June,
happened.
and we're just still doing it?
Well, maybe now we're going to get the big multi-team match with the Wyatts included. So we had the Wyatts came out, laid everybody out. We didn't even get to that point. Then we had Legato, who has escaped the tag team division, it seems, for a little bit. Taking on, although this, I mean, you know what I mean, the tag title scene. As they're taking on Ray Fenix and Javon Evans here. Is it Phoenix or Fenix?
Whatever you want.
Do we know? Legato isolated Evans for a long time until Phoenix got the tag, ran wild. Then he made a blind tag. Both of them then ran wild. Then got into an argument with Ethan Page, who was on commentary, the NXT North American champion. Page shoved them together, got kicked by Evans. Evans hit a handspring kick in the ring. He went up top. There was a distraction on the ref. Page shoved Evans to the floor. Legato hit the MTY and got the win ahead of Worlds Collide. Then we had Zelina Vega take on Alba Fire. Vega hit a stun dog millionaire. She missed a moonsault. Alba Fire had a swanton bomb, but only got a 2. Chelsea tried to hit Zelina on the floor with a protective mask, but Vega moved. She hit Piper instead. Chelsea chased her around the ring. Zelina knocked Chelsea and Alba together, hit the code red on Alba, got the win. Carmelo Hayes and The Miz teased a breakup backstage. Julia.
Man, if I were Miz, I'd be worried. Golly.
Julia saw Zelina backstage, then saw the North American title, said she is looking at that more than she's looking at Zelina. Damian Priest, who's beaten and bruised, came out. He said he wants the most bad, I can't say this word on the radio, champion they have in the WWE, Jacob Fatu. Then Fatu came out for his triple threat match. They crossed paths on the ramp. Carmelo Hayes, Fatu, and Andrade had a 3-way. Fatu took out The Miz early on, Brian, much to your delight. They had a lot of time, broke out a lot of the stops, as Andrade and Melo usually do. This time, Fatu would play the spoiler, break up a lot of their signature stuff. Towards the end, Melo hits the first 48. Andrade drops him with the back elbow. Fatu hits the implant DDT on Melo. hits one on Andrade, hits the moonsault on Andrade. And then for some reason, Solo Sikoa pops up on the apron, and he's just telling him, hit the moonsault again. Do it again. Do it again. JC Mateo gets up on the apron, and he's telling him to do the same. Then Big Jim shows up, super kicks JC. Mello hits Fatu into Solo, hits him with the first 48. But then Andrade grabs Mello, hits the spinning neck breaker, the message, and gets the win. Brian, does this count as a win in this never-ending best of 7 that never had a definitive finish between Mello
the best
and
of 7
Andrade?
did have it kind of had a finish.
No.
I guess it had a
LA
run-in.
Knight interfered, and it was
Yeah.
a no contest.
Well, it
He
was
the
never
special
technically a
ref.
best of 7, so it was just a series.
Byron interviewed LA Knight before Aleister Black showed up. Said last week that win was partially his. Then Fatu was not happy, storming around, throwing stuff outside the arena, told Solo that for the last time he doesn't need his help. And then Cody Rhodes came to the ring. He talked. Jey Uso came to the ring. This brought out John Cena. Cena called them both wannabes, said they're both desperate. Uso's too lazy. He said there's only one person in the WWE that embodies hustle, loyalty, and respect. That's Logan Paul. Paul comes out. They talk some more. Logan said, hey, if you want some, you can come get some. Jay said, we don't need to wait. Cena and Logan started arguing a little bit. And then Cody asked, what are you doing there? Logan, you're going to go polish Cena's Peacemaker? Which led to them all brawling. Jay hit a super kick. Cody hit a disaster kick on Cena. Jay dove onto John on the floor. Logan missed a buckshot lariat in the ring. He ate a super kick from Jey Uso, and then the Cody cutter. And the former tag champs, the world champ, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes stood tall to end the show.
Did you call it the Code D Cutter?
That is what they called it.
The Code D Cutter.
Cody Cutter is what I believe Joe Tess said. May have been Wade Barrett.
How about that?
Either way, it's atrocious.
Yeah, we got to go back in a moment. Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe. Hey, listen, we're going to start with the real main event of the weekend. We witnessed with our own eyes Minoru Suzuki versus Butterbean with Dan Severn as the special guest referee. The worst match in the history of professional wrestling.
We all knew it was going to be a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
I said, this is going to be a train wreck. I want to see this train wreck. I must see this train wreck.
I will give credit to Butterbean. Butterbean was very, very fat, and I don't think that he could walk. And he spent a lot of time with DDP.
Yes.
Did a lot of DDP yoga.
Yes.
And DDP literally got him back on his feet.
Yeah.
The entire first round is just like standing there. And the brawling's kind of like, and Suzuki like throws, he finally gives him a good one. How'd you like that one? So Butterbean falls to the ground by holding onto the top rope, squatting down a little, grabbing the middle rope, squatting down a little further, and then he lays on the ground. The crowd's chanting "Fight Forever," which
like they
sounds
had
like a horrible idea.
Yes.
So the ring announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have just heard from the special enforcer, Dan the Beast Severn. He has ruled that the match is a double countout." And the fans are like, "What? Boo!" And they're all angry. And I'm like, this is the most ballsy match I've ever seen. I heard a rumor that Suzuki was talking to someone before the show about this match. And he was like, this match, very bad. And the person was like, Minoru, dude, it's going to be fine. Like, you can do this. You're great. This match is going to end up fine. And Suzuki said, no. That was it. Okay. And I got in just in time to see Minoru Suzuki versus the Sex Doll. And people were very upset that I did not refer to the Sex Doll by her name.
Yoshihiko.
I have great respect for the Sex Doll as a non-person because the Sex Doll is not a person. But there's a reason.
It's a doll.
There's a reason.
For sex.
Is he going to wrestle a sex doll and have a better match with a doll than he had with Butterbean? And the answer is yes.
Emphatically. The Butterbean match exposed the business much more than this match.
Yes, in
against the
fact,
sex doll.
it did.
The match with the sex doll was far more realistic. It was far more believable. It was far more credible. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating or making this up.
Network.
Well, we're back here on the show. And I'm ready for an exciting edition of Monday Night Raw tonight. Even chopping a half hour off the show makes it just seem so much easier to watch. Plus,
It's even easier if you change your viewing habits and just jump in live for the last hour and a half.
Yeah, or I was going to say if you don't watch it. Well, we're going to watch it. We're going to review it tomorrow with our good friend Lance Storm, who I believe we finally got him a new box to connect, so he'll sound like a professional, is my hope. And then we've got all the rest of the stuff this coming week. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it this weekend, but I'm going to start making some calls, making some plans. You know, it's barbecue season. Maybe we'll have a real exciting Saturday in the sun, barbecuing and watching a lot of wrestling before a Bryan and Vinny show. You want to come up? You available?
Yeah.
I mean, you got no other bookings. Golly, that'd be a fun day, wouldn't it? We'll talk.
For you.
I mean, how many miles you got? Can you get up here for free? Or you could drive. It's only 21 hours.
Hey, who do you think's winning that triple threat tonight with CM Punk?
I think the winner tonight is going to be AJ.
I don't know. I think this is the perfect chance for Grande Americano to win.
He'd have to wrestle twice in one day.
It's not the same guy. This is their shot.
It would be kind of funny if they put someone else under the mask. If they put Omos under the mask. All right, we're out of time, everybody. Got to wrap it up. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.